Hello and welcome to Rustic Planters. If you're passionate about home gardening, landscaping, and transforming your outdoor space into a retreat, you're in the right place. In today's video, we're diving into vintage garden inspiration, focusing on small backyard ideas that evoke classic charm and timeless beauty. We've gathered some unique, practical, and creative ways to bring a touch of nostalgia into your garden, no matter how small your outdoor space may be. Before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you never miss a new video. Don't forget to like this video if you're excited about these vintage garden ideas, and leave a comment below telling us what your favorite classic garden style is. Now, let's jump into the charming world of vintage-inspired gardens and explore ways to make your small backyard a peaceful, timeless sanctuary. One of the easiest ways to evoke a vintage feel in your small backyard is by incorporating classic garden furniture. Look for antique-style wrought iron or wood furniture, like a quaint bistro table or an elegant bench. These pieces not only add character but also serve as functional spaces for relaxation and enjoying your garden. Consider a weathered white finish or pastel-colored seats to enhance that vintage vibe. A garden swing or rocking chair is another perfect addition for a nostalgic touch. Imagine sipping tea on a warm afternoon while gently rocking in a comfortable chair surrounded by lush greenery. These timeless pieces invite relaxation and allow you to immerse yourself in the charm of the garden. To complete the look, add some vintage-style cushions with floral patterns, lace trims, or even antique-looking throws. These small additions can make a huge impact on transforming your garden into a peaceful vintage escape. A brick pathway instantly brings a sense of history and charm to any garden. Whether you opt for traditional red bricks or a more weathered, antique look, the texture and warmth of brick are perfect for creating a vintage-inspired path. These pathways guide visitors through your garden while adding structure and flow to your outdoor space. For smaller backyards, a meandering brick path can help maximize space while creating visual interest. The winding design offers a sense of discovery as you walk through the garden, and it makes the area feel larger than it actually is. Use bricks in irregular patterns or add moss between them to enhance the aged, rustic aesthetic. Brick paths also pair beautifully with flower beds or low-growing plants on either side, giving your garden an effortlessly vintage look. Over time, the bricks will weather and gain character, which only adds to their timeless appeal. Vintage planters are a fantastic way to add charm and personality to your small garden. Look for antique-style ceramic pots, urns, or galvanized metal containers for a rustic touch. Mixing and matching different textures and sizes of planters creates visual interest and adds layers to your design. You could also repurpose old containers, like wooden crates or even vintage watering cans, as planters. A weathered look is exactly what you want when embracing a vintage garden style. These items often carry memories, and repurposing them in your garden gives them new life. To complete the look, fill your planters with flowers or plants that complement the vintage aesthetic. Think soft pastels, delicate ferns, or fragrant herbs. This combination of antique planters and lush greenery will create a tranquil, timeless garden space. Vintage gardens are often associated with certain types of plants that evoke the past. Consider planting classic flowers like roses, lavender, hollyhocks, peonies, and daisies. These flowers not only bring beautiful color and fragrance to your garden, but they also create a nostalgic atmosphere. To enhance the vintage vibe, choose varieties with delicate petals and soft hues. A mix of pastel pinks, whites, and purples will give your small garden a timeless, romantic feel. Additionally, incorporating climbing roses or creeping vines along fences or trellises adds vertical interest and makes your garden feel like something out of a bygone era. Vintage-inspired flowers thrive in sun-drenched spots, but be mindful of their watering and pruning needs. With a little care, these beautiful flowers will bloom year after year, enhancing the charm of your small garden for seasons to come. No vintage garden would be complete without a classic water feature. A vintage-style fountain, made from stone, cast iron, or even ceramic, adds both sound and beauty to your garden. The gentle sound of trickling water enhances the tranquil atmosphere and evokes an old-world charm. choose a fountain that complements the size of your backyard. In small spaces, a tiered fountain or one with a simple, classic design can be the perfect centerpiece without overwhelming the area. Surround your fountain with flowers or greenery to integrate it into the rest of the garden. For an even more vintage touch, consider adding some rustic bird baths or small decorative water features to other corners of your garden. These will bring an element of surprise and wonder, and they're a great way to invite local wildlife into your vintage oasis. Lighting can completely transform the mood of your vintage garden, especially as the sun sets. Classic lanterns, string lights, and vintage-style lamps can cast a warm, inviting glow across your backyard. Use soft, warm-toned lights to enhance the timeless charm. Fairy lights strung through trees, over a pergola, or along fences are perfect for adding a touch of magic to your outdoor space. If you want something with more character, try lantern-style lights on posts or hanging from hooks. You can even mix in antique-style candle holders for an extra vintage flair. Remember to focus on the functional and aesthetic aspects of your lighting. Well-placed lights can help define the edges of your garden and create pathways while setting a peaceful, romantic tone. Incorporating structures like arbors, trellises, and pergolas can instantly make your small garden feel like a vintage paradise. These structures are not only practical for supporting climbing plants, but they also serve as focal points. A wrought iron or wooden arbor can add old-world charm and elegance to your backyard. Train climbing plants like roses, clematis, or ivy over these structures for a dreamy, vintage effect. As the plants grow and flower, the structure will become even more enchanting. A covered walkway or a sitting area under a trellis can also create an intimate, timeless retreat. A simple vintage garden structure can also provide height and dimension to your backyard, making it feel more expansive. Pair it with soft garden furniture, and you'll have a lovely, peaceful space to enjoy for years. For a truly unique vintage garden, don't hesitate to incorporate antique finds and repurposed treasures. An old wooden ladder can become a rustic plant stand, or a vintage bicycle can be transformed into a charming planter. These quirky items bring personality to your garden and reflect a sense of nostalgia. You can also collect vintage garden tools like watering cans, spades, or rakes to use as decorative elements. Hang them on walls or store them in old crates for an eclectic, rustic look. These items tell a story and help create a garden space that's truly one of a kind. Another great idea is to incorporate antique signs or painted wooden plaques with quaint messages or garden-themed quotes. These little details can bring a delightful vintage atmosphere to even the smallest spaces. Outdoor rugs are a simple yet impactful way to introduce vintage charm to your backyard. Opt for patterns like floral, checkered, or Persian-inspired designs that evoke a timeless, old-world feel. These rugs can help create cozy seating areas, especially in small spaces, and make your garden feel like an inviting living room outdoors. Place a vintage-inspired rug under your outdoor furniture to anchor the space. The right rug can help define the area and make your garden feel more like a stylish, outdoor extension of your home. Choose a rug made from durable, weather-resistant material to ensure it stands up to the elements. These rugs can be rolled up for easy storage during rainy seasons, making them a practical option for any garden. A vintage garden shed is a wonderful addition to a small backyard, offering both charm and functionality. Choose a shed with a rustic wood finish, perhaps with some chipped paint or a weathered appearance. This kind of shed brings a sense of history to your garden and serves as the perfect storage space for tools and gardening equipment. Consider adding a vintage touch to the exterior of the shed, such as an old-fashioned sign or hanging baskets of flowers. This will create a seamless connection between the shed and the rest of your vintage garden. If your shed is large enough, you can also create a small garden nook inside. Add a few potted plants, vintage chairs, and maybe a workbench to make it a charming retreat for gardening and quiet moments. Garden statues are another timeless way to add character and charm to your vintage garden. Think of classic statues like cherubs, fairies, or animals that you might see in old gardens. These sculptures evoke a sense of whimsy and nostalgia. Place these statues strategically throughout your garden to enhance the vintage atmosphere. Whether they're nestled among flowers, peeking out from behind bushes, or standing proudly as focal points, they'll create a sense of intrigue and old-world charm. If you prefer a more minimalist look, consider smaller statues that blend into the surroundings. Subtle, well-placed sculptures can make a big impact in a small garden without overpowering the space. Textiles play a key role in creating a comfortable, vintage garden retreat. Consider vintage-inspired cushions, throws, and tablecloths to bring warmth and personality to your outdoor furniture. Floral, gingham, or striped patterns evoke the charm of past decades. Add a vintage hammock or outdoor daybed draped with soft fabrics for a cozy space to relax. The right fabrics can create an inviting, lived-in feel that makes your garden even more appealing. Additionally, using textiles like vintage quilts or crocheted blankets can add texture and color, especially in the cooler months when you still want to enjoy the outdoors. A herb garden is not only practical but also a great way to add vintage charm. Plant herbs like rosemary, thyme, and mint in vintage containers or old wooden boxes. These plants offer beautiful fragrances, colors, and textures, while also evoking memories of simpler times. Consider using raised beds or a series of small planters to grow your herbs in an organized, yet charming way. The rustic look of weathered wood containers will tie in beautifully with the vintage feel of your garden. This herb garden can also double as a functional space for cooking or crafting your own herbal remedies, giving it a utilitarian yet nostalgic flair. Thank you so much for joining me today on this journey through vintage garden inspiration. I hope you've discovered some exciting ideas to add classic, timeless charm to your small backyard. Remember, creating a vintage garden is all about combining nostalgia, character, and nature's beauty. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment telling us your favorite vintage garden idea. We'd love to hear your thoughts and any garden projects you're working on. Until next time, happy gardening, and may your outdoor spaces be filled with timeless beauty and charm. See you soon.